Okay, Jeff, I think we're gonna be looking at these two portions of videos. Left side is from the mock race, and then the right side is from the week prior. Um, I think the right side video gives me a little bit closer view, um, obviously, than some of the ones I get on the left side here. Um, so we're gonna focus on the right side video. The left side video is gonna show kind of the same thing. Um, so what I kind of wanted to take a look at is your top arm pressure through your stroke. Um, Obviously, you have really good twist here. I like how much your back is showing to the camera here. Um, and it gives you a really good positive angle setup right here in the front. Good position in your catch here. And then as you're going into the stroke, good engagement with that shoulder line untwisting, right, as we're getting into the pool. So the main thing that I would say could use a little bit of improvement is your top arm pressure following the direction of the paddle as you continue through the stroke. So let's see here. So we're already fully zoomed in on this right side video here. So what I'm going to focus mainly on is looking at your top hand placement as you continue through the stroke and what your top arm is doing. So as we advance through the pool here, so fully buried at this point here. Oops. And continue through the stroke. We cut off power around here, and you can see you start exiting right around there. Okay, so I'm going to mark the end around here. Okay, so in terms of top arm pressure travel, go into that stroke and you continue that pull. I'd like to see a little bit more top hand pressuring down as you go through that stroke. Let's see if we can find an example here of what I'm looking for. So let me pick Laura right behind here. So I know you guys have slightly different top hand placement when you get into the buried position, but let's do the same thing where we draw a line starting from our top hand downwards and then finishing the stroke. Okay, right around here. This is literally just a couple inches more of top arm pressure, more of top arm over the gunnel and pressuring down, following through into the back end of the stroke. So one more time here. Sorry, my thumb is a lot bigger on this screen, so it's okay. So now we have two lines to look at here. So if you take a look at the differential, right? If we look at this distance between the the beginning of your stroke and the end of your stroke and where your top hand finishes, and compared to Laura's here, right? We have a little bit more pushing down of that paddle further back along that stroke. I think while we're here, we might as well get Eric as well. Okay, so might have to I'm gonna redraw Laura's line. I think it looks like her starts actually just a couple inches. Yeah, right here. Okay, so let me use another color for Eric. Okay, so Eric, you start here. Continue through the stroke. Okay, so we're looking at Eric ending somewhere around like this. Okay, so we have these couple lines to kind of help demonstrate top hand starting and ending position. It kind of gives you a relative idea of how much your top hand is following that pressure in line with the paddle through your stroke, right? And it kind of dictates a little bit of how much the inner half of your body is participating throughout that stroke. Okay, so again, taking a look at these three different starting and ending points for you guys here, you can kind of get an idea, Jeff, of how much difference there is. It's obviously not that much, but it does affect how much top hand pressure you're getting, especially as you continue that pull into the back half of the pool there. Okay, I'm gonna move this video along forward a little bit. I think there's a point where we kind of see a slightly different angle, so we'll wait for it to catch up a little bit right here. Okay. So as we advance through here, here's another really good shot. Okay, so paddle's going in, fully buried right here. Okay, so let's take a look from this angle. When does your top hand start kind of dropping in? Okay, I know the camera's slightly moving here, so let me bring the frame over here. Okay, so watch real carefully here. You get fully buried at this point. Okay, I'm looking for any top hand motion into the boat. Okay, so if we kind of draw a line reference, this is the starting point. Pulling right around there. Okay. It's pretty good, decent length on that pull. But if you take a look at where your paddle is, at least kind of where your lower hand is in relation to your legs, right? You're kind of cutting off your power around your knee. If you look at when your top hand starts to drop in, right? Top hand dropping in right here. already kind of going into your follow through, and your hand is around that knee area. So ideally in these long strokes, we're setting up for at least to the mid thigh. And I think it's literally has to do with your top arm. So if your top arm pressure is down a little bit more, your paddle's going to travel back a little bit more. So I think one of the biggest differences right now, for example, between you and Willie, and also even, I'm now going to go into the left side video here. So I know we're kind of further away in this point of view, but right, we can see you and Vivian kind of get into the same, kind of the same-ish point in the front here. But you can see, right, Vivian's blade accelerates back a little bit quicker. And you can see her top hand pressures down. So if we look at relative positioning here from the side, so we see the same thing even at that mock race, right? Relative positioning here versus Vivian's paddle is back here, around her mid-thigh, exit a little bit closer to where her hip is. So she's gotten a longer paddle acceleration through that pool. Largely because of that top arm pressure following into the back half of the stroke. Okay. All right, I think I've talked long enough about this, and you probably understand what I'm getting at. Yeah, so I know I didn't mention this earlier, but just go into the side view of this video on the right just because it's a little bit closer on that view, right? So we want to continue top arm pressure. So this is a really good point of view as well. So look at Willie on the left here, and you can see his top arm pushes down with the paddle as he continues to pull. Whereas right now I'm going back and forth for you to see. So through your pull right now, see how that top hand is almost fixed right there? Okay, so we want that top hand to keep pushing down back. And your lower hand will then end up closer to the mid-thigh area because your top hand is pushing down and back on that paddle. Or pushing down in the direction of the paddle. And when it's negative, it obviously will push back a little bit more. Okay. I think that's pretty much it. Alright, I'm going to end this video here. It's already getting into 15 minutes.